Hey, all, another episode of Dost Isms, but today I want to talk about something different. I was out working in the yards today, and I heard a story on YouTube. I saw a story on YouTube by Katie Fang talking about the Chrisleys, the pardon that Donald Trump gave to the Chrisleys, convicted felons. One was serving, I think she was serving a 12-year sentence. She was serving a 7-year sentence. But Donald Trump pardoned him, both of them. Why? Because his daughter, or Chrissy's daughter, is a big Trump supporter. Trump is, and she went through and listed all these other people. I don't recall their names offhand. Of all these other felons, convicted felons, fraudsters, some alleged murder, that Donald Trump is just opening up the gates and letting them out. And if you have some money, if you paid Donald Trump some money, he will release you. Now, is that now the thing I'm hearing? The new thing out of MAGA world these days that I'm hearing is trust the plan. Is that part of the plan? Is releasing felons? You guys are the law and order party. You say you are. You wave around your constitutions, and you've got a guy that in the White House now that is committing every criminal fraud act that can be done, and people are still hanging on to that. Trust the plan. Where's the plan? What's the plan? So can you go out and commit white collar crime now and get released from prison by Donald Trump? You won't, unless you have a couple $1 million to give him, something they can line his pockets with. You know, a lot of people are falling away from Donald Trump now. Thank God. Thank God. So I think it's the fuck around and find out phase. And I'm glad to see that. I'm so glad that people are finally realizing Donald Trump is a liar and what kind of the character, the man, because they're feeling it directly now. It was okay when the leopard was eating somebody else's face, but now that they're eating yours, you finally realize that you made a mistake. And I'm glad for that. I'm glad that you finally realized that. But there's still those people that are hanging on that. Now let's be very clear. There is a certain segment of our population that are just haters. They hate people. They want the chaos. They love the chaos that Donald Trump is doing. They just love it because they want chaos. And there's the other part of the segment that are just white supremacists, bigots, hate, racists, just scumbuckets, scum of the world, scum of the earth that Donald Trump has brought forward that will never leave Donald Trump. So that percentage is probably around 20%. I wish it wasn't even that much, but it probably hovers around that. The rest of the people that are still supporting MAGA, I don't know why you are. I hope that you will one day learn that this man is just learn to discern the truth. This is going to be Donald Trump is going to and this population and what's going on here is going to be the decades of research for decades to come. Because you have a segment of the population that was brainwashed, literally brainwashed into believing things that are not real. So the whole theme of Donald Trump is if you lie enough, people will believe it, and that's what happened here. And people, they've got mega people, they got people, and I know most outsiders looking onto this thing. We scratch our heads and we think, how can people believe such fucking nonsense? How can people believe what this guy says? Everything he says is a lie. Everything. And how is it that he is the only one that's right? Anytime somebody assaults him or hurts his poor little ego, he's got to come out and, they hate these people. Bruce Springsteen, he's just a jerk. How childish is that? I mean, can you people that support MAGA, can't you see how childish that is? And to be a president is another thing. But I'm not going to call you MAGA idiots. I'm not going to insult you anymore. I'm not going to do that. I'm past that anger now. I'm now at the point of welcoming people that leave MAGA and encouraging people that leave MAGA. And hopefully they will become part of the resistance, the growing resistance to get on the streets to march against this son of a bitch. This criminal, this rapist, this disgusting example of a human being. I mean, even MAGA has to admit, opening the gates to convicted fraudsters, convicted criminals by a jury of their peers, something's wrong with that. Something's wrong when you have a president that acts like a petulant child and goes on and types this ridiculous hate speech against somebody because they bruised my feelings. They hurt my feelings. I mean, come on. Even you MAGA's got to realize that they're still supporting. You got to scratch your heads and realize that. And for those of us standing on the outside looking in, it perplexes us. But but what's happened here is we've had the Republican Party, the Heritage Foundation. This has been a plan for a long time. They've been grooming people, literally grooming people for cults. And that's just repeat the same lies, repeat the same hatred. Let's own the libs, let's own the libs. Or anytime you mention something about Donald Trump, it's like, well, what about Biden? What did Biden do? Well, let me say something. The accusations against Hunter Biden is nothing compared to what Don Jr. and what's that other fuckhead, his son-in-law are doing. Just open fraud. Open fraud. They're not even trying to hide it. Doesn't that bother you? It's has to bother you in some sense. If you can't be bothered by this, then you truly are brainwashed and lost cause. But I don't think you're all lost cause, because I think that once you get affected by his lies, which is for the people in the red states, hurricane season's coming. I just asked the people in I think it was North Carolina, Kentucky, West Virginia, how responsive Donald Trump was to them. He hasn't sent them a nickel, nothing. Biden was on top of that hurricane, or that whatever that storm was in North Carolina. He was on top of that at the very outset. But Donald Trump said, nope, Biden didn't do anything. Well, he lied to you. And he tells you, I'm going to do everything for these people. When I get in office, he's not doing a fucking thing for you. Donald Trump is a scumbucket. He's a slime of the earth. He's a piece of shit garbage that deserves to rot in prison. He deserves, I would love to see the man dead. I don't want him assassinated, though. I don't want anybody to assassinate the guy, because I don't want him to be made into a hero or a martyr. I want that guy to rot in prison the rest of his life. I want him to be removed from office along with all those other sick people that he's got, the racists that he's got, and I want them all Gitmoed, rendition down to Gitmo. I want them to be put on trial, military trial. I want them convicted and executed for treason. That's what I want. That's what I would want. I think that's what a lot of people want. But nobody wants the guy assassinated. Nobody does, because nobody wants to make this son of a bitch into a martyr. I certainly don't. I want to see the man suffer. I want to see him. I want to see his last days and last days of Kristi Noem and all these other fuckheads, all these ICE agents, all these haters that are stepping all over our Constitution. I want them to suffer. I want the justice served on them. Donald Trump is going to die one day. He's already, that's another thing. Let's talk about his brain, his mush. If that was Joe Biden, you guys would be all over this thing, screaming for him to be removed from office, but not a peep out of the Republican and the megas. Not a peep out of anybody in Congress. Now, it's your congressmen, your mega congressmen that have killed your Medicaid. It's your mega congressmen that have done the most horrendous things to you that you haven't felt yet, but you will. That are doing this. They could stop all this. But they're either too spineless to go up against Donald Trump, who I think is just, he's nothing. He's a weak little petulant child. He's a boy. Could knock the guy over with a feather. He's such a pussy. He's just got his big base around Stephen Miller, all these people. Come on. When are you all going to realize? And you are realizing that. Those that you are, praise God that you are. Thankfully, I'm glad that you are. But now that I hope that you people that are walking away from Trump have finally learned that made a mistake and realized, admitting, my God, how did I fall for this stuff? You're going through the deprogramming process right now. And you're realizing, and I'm sure that you're probably thinking to yourself, how did I fall for this stuff? But don't just think that. Don't feel bad for it. Get out and forget the shame. Put your shame and anger and get out in the streets, march against this guy. Join the resistance. Join the resistance. You know, I have this hope. I do. I really hope. I really hope that this June 14th, when Trump grandizes himself like Kim Jong-un and all these other dictatorships with his military parade, I pray to God, I'm hoping to God that when they come by him, they all turn their weapons toward Donald Trump, and somebody goes up there, general or somebody goes up there and arrests the son of a bitch and removes him from power. I hope to God that happens. I really do. And I think that I think a lot of other people are. This man has to be removed from power. Do you not understand what this man is doing? to us. And it's really sad thing about this is they're not even a lot of people that are diehard MAGAs. They have no clue what Donald Trump is even doing. They just hear what Fox News is telling them, and that's what they go by. Just the plan, just the plan. This is America, people. We cannot allow it. We're better than this. We're much better than this. We have to stand up to this and remove this guy. Because what this guy at this point in time, Trump is he's the foolish idiot right now. And he is. He's just the foolish fucking idiot out there right now. That Project 20, the people that put Project 2025 in, and Stephen Miller and all these truly dangerous people. They just love. They love. They love that they got a silly fool in office that everybody puts their attention on, so they can quietly incorporate fascism and dictatorship, and they're doing it. They're doing it, people. I can speak on this because I know about intellectual properties. I've studied intellectual properties for 10 years, well, 14 years actually. I see what is being done with how these agencies and all these firings and how they're consolidating, getting rid of all this. I understand what's being done with this stuff. I understand what they're doing that most people don't. They're privatized. All this stuff, all these things that they're collapsing, all these things all these agencies they're collapsing and doing away with. They're not doing away with the agencies per se. They're doing away with the regulatory aspects of the agency, but the assets that are within those, you know what? Those assets are still going to be generating because we're the assets, people. We are. And guess what? Instead of being under contract with the United States of America and its agencies, they got us under contract with Elon Musk now. So all the things that you don't know what's going on, the real reality out there, and all the monies and revenues and all the stuff that should be coming to us anyhow that weren't because of trade secrets, instead of going to the government and dissipating to attorneys and so on and so forth, they're going into Donald Trump's pocket and Elon Musk's pocket. Elon Musk and Donald Trump and Peter Thiel and all these billionaires, they are fuckwads that want to be Dr. Evil. And I'll tell you what runs the world is what you cannot see. What controls you, you cannot see. What is your reality, you cannot see. But it's everything that controls you. And it's everything that's intellectual properties and the contracts that are within intellectual properties and the rights that they take in us. That's where all the money's generated, that's where all the power's generated. And if they can consolidate that together, guess what? They own the fucking world, people. Is that what we want? I don't want that. I don't know, and I know you don't want that. But like I said, there's a small portion of the people out there. Hopefully it's, I'm sad to say it's probably 20%, maybe a little bit more, that are there's just pieces of shit fuckheads, bigots, racists, white supremacists that love the chaos. You know, even if it's 25%, even if it's 30%, we are the majority. We have to stand up, and people are standing up. We got to stand up every day. Every lie that Donald Trump says, we've got to repeat that lie and fact check that lie, because we can't let things normalize. You know. Now, let me say something. I'm not a bleeding heart liberal. I've got a lot of problems with Democrats. I got a lot of problems with Democrats. I would kind of classify myself as independent. And I voted Republican in the past. I voted Democrat in the past. But I don't sit there and say, "Well, gee, what about the Vegas?" You know, like you guys say, "What about Roman libs?" We don't want to own you, MAGA. We don't want to own you like you want to own us. And I don't even understand what does own the libs mean? What does woke mean? You don't even know what woke means. You have no clue what it means, but yet you go around and spout this stuff. Why? Because it's been drilled into your head for so many years, and that's all you listen to. But it's not reality. It's not the truth. And that's what's so alarming about all this, is the truth. What is the truth? Maybe we should look for it. Maybe we should actually look for it. Instead of listening to somebody, I mean, don't even listen to me. What I talk about with patents and trademarks, I don't want you to take me at face value. I don't want that. I want you to research it for yourself so that you can find out for yourself. Don't ever take anything that somebody tells you at face value, because that's how we got into this mess. You have to think for yourself. Question everything before you make judgments on something. Research the facts. Look at the facts. And if something sounds ludicrous and asinine, it probably is ludicrous and asinine, like own the libs and woke asinine. So We're going into summer here. I'm really hoping for January 4th, June 14th. I will be out there protesting. I hope that I know that millions and millions of other people will be out there as well. I know that we're going to ignore Donald Trump. We're going to piss on his parade. We're going to have our own. And I hope that people that have walked away from MAGA, please join us. Join us in the celebration of our lives, our country, our freedoms, and standing up to Donald Trump's fascism. And in the back of my mind, I'm going to hope and pray. I'm going to listen to the news and hope to God that that's the day that Donald Trump is taken out of office. Please, military, I call you to the attention. I call the attention of the military. Take this man out. The day is June 14th. Take him out. Rendition this son of a bitch, his whole administration, get him down to Gitmo, remove him from power so that we can start to repair this country, repair the relationships that are destroyed. I mean, that's got to bother you MAGAs too, doesn't it? I mean, you guys are the part of Law and Order, the Constitution Party, but now what are you lover of Donald Trump? Now you're talking about accusing everybody, Joe, oh, here, she's a communist. Really? Who's the communist here? It's alleged, there's a lot of evidence out there that says Donald Trump has been compromised. But that doesn't bother you, MAGAs, and I don't get that. How can that not bother you? I mean, is everything a lie? Is everything against Donald Trump fake? Is it all fake news? I mean, that's not even logical to even think that. So, if what I have to say here even catches one person's ear, great. And I'm going to keep on speaking out about this, and I encourage everybody to speak out about this. We cannot be silent on this. If you hear something that's a lie, do a little video on it, do a little post on it, because somebody may catch that's believing this stuff. Maybe you catch their ear, maybe, and it's worth the effort to do that, because every ear that we can catch to get away and to kind of come back into reality here, or at least look at reality, is a step forward. We have to stand up. We cannot go 4 years with Donald Trump. And I'll tell you one thing: if Donald Trump's trying to rig the election, stop the elections, the midterm elections, if he does that, he's done for there. I mean, I think at that point in time, I think that would be when all the gloves come off, because everybody riot in the streets at that point. I think all peaceful protests would stop at that point in time, because that's a bridge too far, which he's already crossed way too far. So. Anyhow, yes, I hate Donald Trump. Can't stand the man. Can't stand the immigration thing that he's doing, the deportations. I can't stand what I see when MAGAs defend this guy. I can't see what's happening to my country, your country. So snap out of it, people. And those of us snapped out of it, stand with the resistance. Speak out against Donald Trump. Stand with us. We're not Democrats. We're not independents. We're Americans. So have a good day, people. Thank you for listening. Please share and put a like on. Have a good day.